Today, I'd like to start a conversation about why leading a life of privacy has improved my life and has the potential to do the same in yours. Why do we feel like sharing so much in our life in the first place, and why it's time to reconsider becoming a bit more private person? All of this in this video. But before we dive in, hello, I am Marta, and on this channel, we talk about the art of emotional regulation, meditation, mental discipline, self-love, and self-observation. All that is essential for the full self-acceptance and for navigating our emotional lives with greater ease, enabling us to live to our fullest potential. I write a blog for women where I discuss these topics in depth, and I offer free resources like a PDF on controlling your emotions in 30 days and Breakup Recovery Helper. I also have a full library of meditations on this channel, so feel free to explore. You can find links to all of these things I mentioned in the description below. Now let's get back to this video. How many times have you heard from your friends or even experienced that yourself, that after prematurely sharing some news or plans with friends or family, they injected this doubt into the situation? Or perhaps the plan never came to fruition and was abandoned in its infancy. Even if you were enthusiastic and felt momentum at the start, after sharing, something went wrong, and as if some energy was shifted and your motivation just diminished. Or maybe you talked about your new relationship, and from that point, things started to deteriorate a little bit. Because of situations like these, I believe that a private life is a better life. I won't even begin to discuss the sharing every moment that we do on social media nowadays, where undesired third parties can see when you're away, leaving your home and possessions at risk. That's a topic for another video entirely. Here I'm talking about oversharing with friends and coworkers, revealing your plans before any progress is made, to seek that validation from the external sources, or even to just self-sabotage. Being an open book and talking to many friends about the same things to get different perspectives rather than reflecting and gaining insights from within. What's going on here? I believe that the private life is safer, more forgiving and motivating, and builds higher levels of self-discipline. It protects our vulnerability and peace from unwanted opinions and gives us better control over our lives. Simply put, we're less likely to jinx things when we keep them to ourselves, and we protect ourselves from that evil eye just in case it's a real thing. Firstly, why do we even overshare? Why do we feel this deep need to tell everybody about our plans before we even begin to execute them, before we make the first smallest step towards it? One obvious reason is the desire for external validation. We want people to tell us how great our idea is, whether it's writing a book, starting a business, or just moving to a new place. We want to be seen as ambitious, inspiring, and interesting rather than relying on our own self-approval in this case. While we can validate ourselves, we often don't value it as much when others praise us. However, even external validation is ultimately a form of self-validation. When someone's positive feedback makes us feel good, it's because we've chosen to give their words meaning. It's your own decision to assign what they said a meaning. In other words, by accepting their praise, we are still the ones validating ourselves. It's just that we've handed over the power to do so to someone else instead of keeping it without our own control. And this is why we often thrive on external validation and feel bad when the source runs out. The source that we placed unconsciously with someone else instead of within ourselves. But know that you've always your biggest source of fulfillment, and you can always go back to the source, which is you. Another reason we overshare is because we are lonely and crave deeper connections with others. When we reveal something personal, we hope it will create this bond through mutual openness, giving us a sense of security in a relationship. We believe that by sharing something personal with a person, we're making an investment that will lead to the other person into consistency trap, right? Like, I've already invested as much. However, this can be an illusion and a pointless strategy. The connection formed may not be genuine, and oversharing can even make us seem desperate for companionship, as if we are willing to disclose our plans and secrets to anyone who just shows up simply because we like meaningful connections in our lives. And lastly, we can be our worst enemies sometimes when it comes to achieving our goals. Sharing big plans like a business idea with someone else might actually be a subtle form of self-sabotage. Deep down, we might harbor our own doubts. And by sharing our plans, we're unconsciously seeking confirmation of those doubts. We might want to hear others say that the plan is too big, that many people fail, how many businesses fail in the first 5 years, how long it takes to actually get there to build it, or that it's just simply an unrealistic dream. This way we can justify our fears and hesitate, or even abandon our plans altogether, avoiding the risk of failure. So, I'm good, I'm not gonna do this, it's not gonna work out anyway. We might be afraid of the change that the success might bring to our life and the people that it will cost us, or the sacrifices that we'll have to make. It's a sign of being double-minded. Do I want it? Do I not want it? I haven't decided yet. And if you're starting something like an online business or social media with social media presence, I'd even suggest going one step further to build it without friends and family knowing. Start with 0 subscribers. Don't invite your friends to just inflate this number for a little while. It's not gonna help you. It will give you more freedom, and you won't be constantly thinking, what if I say this and this person judges me? What will they think about this? Don't do that. Just create a content that feels authentic to you, and you will not be influenced by your close people if you don't invite them to your space. And just to be clear, I am not encouraging anyone to bottle things up. It's your choice in the end. I'm simply suggesting that there are alternatives to venting to everybody. You can choose one trusted friend instead of telling everyone, or journal your emotions and doubts. Reflect on the ideas by yourself before seeking others' opinions, because people genuinely project their doubts and limits and insecurities onto others. What they tell you that is not possible is actually them thinking about themselves that is not possible. But also at the core, everyone is just a mirror of what we think within. Some say that everyone is you pushed out. And if you feel the need to overshare and receive negative feedback about our plans, for example, it's because deep down, this is our belief as well, that we don't believe this is going to happen for us. Now let's see why having a life led in privacy is such a good idea. First of all, you conserve your energy, which might otherwise be spent on explaining, justifying, on defending your ideas to others. This allows you to direct more energy and focus towards actually executing your plans and increasing the likelihood of success. Act on your own conviction and look for proof of success rather than searching for obstacles. Use your confirmation bias to your advantage. It's the same mechanism that makes you suddenly notice red cars everywhere when you start thinking about getting a red car. Our brain selects from the environment what we soak our subconscious mind with, what we dwell upon. So soak it with the conviction of inevitable success. All you see will be opportunities. When you share problems in your relationship with many friends, focusing on the negative aspects of your partner, what he did or something you expected but he didn't deliver, you reinforce and solidify this negative image of your partner in your mind by repeating it over and over. Instead, you should aim to do the opposite. Affirm positively. Our brains are biased towards negativity. They scan the environment for signs of danger, while the good things are often overlooked because they aren't seen as threats. These are just noise, Since your brain is naturally skewed towards the negative, make an intentional effort to find the positives in your partner. This helps balance your perspective and gives your partner a chance to show up as the better version you hope to see. Another reason why having the private life is good is that when you share your plans and successes with others, you may unintentionally trigger feelings of jealousy. People who are struggling with their own limitations might project their insecurities onto you in a subtle way, or just overly discouraging you from pursuing your dreams. And this can manifest as negative comments, doubts, or even undermining behavior that can sap your motivation and confidence. Not everyone has your best interest at heart. And when people see you leveling up while they remain at the same place, they might feel envy, even if they are not fully aware of this and are generally good people. There is also this concept of the evil eye, which is a belief found in many cultures, where envy or ill will from others can bring bad luck or negative energy to our endeavors. And in case it's true and you see it literally or view it as a metaphor for negative energy others can direct towards you, keeping your goals private can serve as a protective measure. By not sharing your plans widely, you reduce the exposure of your dreams to those who might wish you harm, consciously or unconsciously. Keeping things to yourself is also a great way to train your self-discipline. It's easy to just yap to others rather than sitting with yourself, meditating, journaling, and understanding what's going on within you. This path is harder and it feels like you're more exposed and as if you can just open something from within yourself that you don't want to know about. But what you're going to find within is just you. It's just more of you. There's nothing to be scared of. This path is harder, but it's also more rewarding because it creates real, lasting change and builds you up from within, making you more independent. Only you can fully regulate your own emotions, and nobody else will be able to do this for you. This is your power and you're in control. And lastly, talking about your plans can create a false sense of accomplishment. When you share your goals with others, your brain can experience a premature reward, making you feel as though you've already achieved something. This can reduce your motivation to take the necessary steps to actually accomplish your goals. Keeping your plans private helps you stay driven and focused on the work that needs to be done to get you there. Plus, being more mysterious is actually sexy, especially for a woman. Leave a little bit to imagination. Don't be that open book. The most interesting people are those who have many layers, and it takes time to get to know them layer by layer, right? Never reveal 100% about yourself and become more comfortable with silence instead of filling it with yapping. And remember that the symbols for feminine energy are the color dark, right? On yin yang, this dark is the feminine energy one. Night and also the moon. And these are more mysterious and dangerous in their nature. So it's good to be like that a little bit sometimes. So what are the alternatives to oversharing while still maintaining meaningful connections with others? Realize that you can be the listener, offering people the perspectives they seek. Empower them by affirming that they've got this and focusing on what they want to achieve and the person they want to be instead of focusing on the negative things, right? Support them without judgment, just as we would want to be approached in the same situation, right? We would like others to do that for ourselves as well. Choose one friend or family member to confide in, or just seek a therapist if needed. There is a difference between bottling everything up completely and harming yourself due to overwhelming emotions, and the simple act of keeping your life private and not having the need of even yapping things out all the time, and resolving your issues on your own in deep self-trust that you know that you've got this, you can make good decisions instead of asking everyone for these perspectives because you don't trust yourself. It's not so difficult to achieve it when you work on yourself and look within for answers and have this self-discipline. Love yourself enough to do this, because everything you need to know, every answer is already within you. You just have to create some time, peace, to listen to it, to actually be aware of what's going on within you. And if you seek this validation from others, start validating yourself. Start telling yourself compliments. Talk to yourself positively and be your own best friend. Be your biggest supporter, okay? Because nobody will be with you at all times throughout your life but you. So become self-validated that the compliments that you receive no longer make your day or spike your happiness. They're nice and they confirm what you already knew, but just accept them with grace and be thankful for them, but don't let them define you. Just validate yourself instead. Don't tell people what you're up to. It only creates pressure and guilt if you become stagnant, for example. So instead, just share some general thing about yourselves, what's going on a day-to-day basis, something that you don't feel doubt about. Share only what you believe in 100% and cannot be shaken by the opinion of others at all. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this video helps you. These are the videos that YouTube thinks you should watch next. And remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.